Good morning, everybody, and welcome to week 2, day 2. Okay, so hope you guys had the most amazing start day yesterday. You've watched all the videos, all these seeds are starting to sink in. Like I've said before, it is really, really important to watch all the videos. Make sure you're commenting below when you have, because I want to see that you've watched it, okay? There are lots of people who still haven't watched all the videos, and they are essential for your mindset, okay? The mind controls the body, and if we don't have the mind in the right place, you are not going to successfully complete this course, because it doesn't matter how good the diet plan, nutrition plan, meal plan, whatever you choose to call it, training plan or support is, okay? If we haven't got the mindset to stay motivated, to be disciplined, and to move forward in the program as we want, then everything else becomes obsolete, okay? It could be the best nutrition plan in the world, couldn't it? If you can't stick to it forever and you don't understand, then it's going to be completely useless. And a lot of that comes down to the mindset, okay? So I discussed that today's video is going to be called Why It's Taken Me 22 Years to Become What Many People See as an Overnight Success, how you can do it way faster and a lot less pain-free, and with hundreds of thousands of pounds less investment into what I thought were going to be miracle coaches, miracle websites, miracle sales funnels, miracle bodybuilding supplements, and everything else that I've tried, okay? So it simply comes down to being able to delay our absolute human need for instant gratification, okay? Now we're gonna come on to a few techniques in regards to this, but that is me all over, and I bet it's you all over as well, okay? That's why most of you, and I specifically asked a question on the questionnaires, what have you tried before? Most people seem to have tried pretty much everything in the world, but they're still at the same place now, okay? So that's because we're always looking for the quick fix. We're always looking for the silver bullet. We always want it all now. You know, even existing clients that are in here, I hope Jolly's watching because he's hilarious, and loads of the other clients, every week, should I be doing more training? Should I be eating less calories? Should we take the carbs out? Should we take this out? Should we add this in? You know, everything is about trying to get somewhere quicker, even when they're progressing very, very well towards their goal, okay? So in my personal situation, I went through so many coaches, okay? Nutrition coaches, fitness coaches, bodybuilding coaches, even going back to my earlier years, tennis coaches, and I was just always looking for the shortcut. Same in business, okay? Marketing companies, sales companies. All I wanted to do was leapfrog all the hard work and get to being super successful, profitable, rich, ripped, toned, massive businessman without learning anything myself, okay? I believed very, very wrongly that there was an expert in every position, which there is, and that you can pay them to do all the work for you so that you don't have to do it yourself, okay? That is the quickest way you will ever find to lose money and not reach your goals, because even the greatest of coaches won't do that for you, okay? They will give you the tools, they will give you the education, they will give you the support, they will give you the knowledge, and they will mentor you through the situation. They will not just give you the thing, because you have to go through the process to get it, to understand it, and then if it's in business, you can delegate the job, or if it's in fitness and fat loss, you will be able to continue it yourself without the coach, because you understand it, okay? If you do not understand it, you do not understand calories, calorie deficit, proteins, carbs, fats, fitness pal, sets, reps, BMR, all these types of things, you will not get where you want to be. It's as simple as that, okay? It will be, as I like to say, a race to the bottom, okay? You will just constantly keep quitting every plan, looking for something quicker, always feel demotivated, lose loads of money, and you'll just be on a race with a load of other people that will all end up at the bottom, okay? What we are looking for is long-term reward, long-term happiness, long-term fulfillment over immediate satisfaction, okay? Because that urge for immediate satisfaction is the same reason why people gamble, okay? It's the same reason why people cheat. It's the same reason why people buy things they don't need, and then it leads them into very difficult financial situations that they sometimes can't get themselves out of, okay? It's the same reason people lose weight very quickly, destroy their metabolisms, and then can't lose weight again because they just screwed their bodies and they need some serious help in order to fix it. It's the same reason why people spend thousands of pounds on what they see to be quick fixes that are gonna, you know, if someone said to you, I can do this in this amount of time, and they're very, very convincing, but it's gonna cost you this high amount of money, but it will get you there 10 times quicker, we all fall for it and we all go for it. But, you know, these things, they don't exist, okay? And that's why it's taken me 22 years to become an overnight success. There's not many people that will know in this group, apart from Steve and Nat and possibly Pete, but I failed as an online coach many, many times because of that reason. I either had the marketing companies that could get me all the people, but I didn't have the systems, or I had the systems but not the clients, just spat on my own phone, or I just simply gave people that I thought were going to take me to the next level lots and lots of my money that I'd worked really hard to earn, and they didn't take me anywhere at all, absolutely nowhere, okay? And that was all just born out of impatience, of been wanting to get there quicker, not wanting to take the tough road, not wanting to do the learning myself, not wanting to do the work, okay? And that's exactly the same as what happens to people in fat loss and in muscle building and all these games, okay? And what happens is you put all the investment into that one thing, and that's what I was doing with coaching, with my website, with sales funnels, with Facebook ads, with mentors. Some were good, some were bad. And then they would take all the money and they'd do absolutely nothing, and I'd go nowhere. And then it would take me another 2 years, of, you know, being a personal trainer and having to build the money back up to then reinvest and try and go online again. And that was a cycle I went in, okay, for nearly 10 years. So anybody kind of watching who thinks I just landed here, trust me, I didn't, and you're not going to, okay? The same, you know, my first proper photo shoot was, you know, 4 years into seriously dedicated bodybuilding and training. And prior to that, I had trained on and off for about 25 years, okay? From about 15 when I started playing rugby, so about 25 years in total. So, you know, it doesn't just come overnight, but there's people telling you that it does to take money off you, and that is horrible, okay? And you need to understand that that's not the way to go. And like I said, it is a race to the bottom. So what I want you guys to focus on is, like I said, we're thinking of long-term reward over immediate satisfaction, because this just forges immediate pleasure, and it's that what we're looking for, and the brain looks for it in terms of food as well. You know, in terms of, it's called dopamine, which is the drug, which is the, you know, very often related to drugs and stuff, but it's what gives you the rush, and then the rush is taken away and it's gone and you're kind of left empty, wanting more. That's the same in all these goals and all these things that happen. So unfortunately, the longer we have to wait for the rewards, the less desirable they very often tend to become. But that's what we need to understand. We have to go through that in order to achieve them. But more so than being able to achieve them, to be able to keep them when we do. Because again, I did this myself many times. You know, I'm not exactly shredded at the moment, but I'm pretty lean. You can see my abs, and you've been able to see my abs despite some fairly absurd periods of dieting. First 3 months of lockdown was terrible. I just ate crap. I've had probably 5 or 6 injuries over that time when I've just eaten a load of crap, and I've had times when I've just been really not disciplined at all. But I've never ever completely lost my abs, okay? And the reason why is because I went through a long process to get them, built my metabolism up, learnt myself, got rid of all the coaches, started to understand my own body with the education that I'm giving you, track my food every single day for the last 1,000+ days, and I now know that these periods are okay and I can manage them because I understand the nutritional process, okay? I understand when I'm in a massive calorie deficit, I understand when I'm in a massive calorie surplus, both are unnecessary. I understand when I'm at maintenance, and I also understand how to have 1, 2, 3, up to kind of 4 or 5 weeks off if needed, not really tracking food, and still be able to keep a handle on things, okay? Because what I've done is sustainable. Whereas what I used to do was I'd like, you know, the typical bulking and cutting mentality, which is exactly the same as what most of you do for a holiday, okay? Except you're not subconsciously bulking like a bodybuilder. You're just being greedy, not tracking food, and making really bad decisions. And then it gets to 8 to 12 weeks before your bodybuilding show or your holiday or your wedding, and you just zone out and you stop eating all the carbs and you stop drinking alcohol. You do everything that's just a massive shock to your body, makes you really miserable for 12 weeks. You get the picture probably on the first day of holiday, or the wedding or the photo shoot. Steve and I did this for his stag do in Ibiza, and it was literally one of the funniest things ever. Mark's in the group, his dad as well, actually. So me and Steve had kind of done that like idiots when we didn't know what we were doing, and I was with a certain coach who was an idiot as well. Hope he's watching. And I was on 0 carbohydrates, about 1,200 calories. Absolutely starving, miserable, horrible to do with, looked banging in a pair of little shorts, got tanned up, prepped for Ibiza, got into Leeds Bradford Airport. Mark, Steve's dad, turns around and he says, I've got this thing with my American Express card. I'm like, oh yeah, he says, we get to go in this Yorkshire suite, and it's free drinks, and there's loads of food, and there's bacon sandwiches, and there's brownies, and there's all this stuff. They'll both be crying watching this. So we've all gone in there, and only person who didn't was Wayne, and just gone crazy because it was free. So I'm eating brownies, I'm eating bacon sandwiches, I'm knocking back gin and tonics, I'm having glasses of wine. I've been back for another bacon sandwich. I had a bit of flapjack. I wrapped a few bits up to put in my bag for the flight. Had a couple more drinks. Decisions got a little bit looser because I was a bit tiddly. Had another bacon sandwich, I think. Got to Ibiza the morning after. I had no abs. I had no body. I felt horrific. I felt horrific throughout the holiday. I then couldn't stop binging eating. I was eating pizza every day. I was drinking every day, and came back and just like, what was that? That's 16 weeks of my life for one day when I actually looked good. But that's a typical example, and that's what nearly all of you have done your whole lives, okay? And you wouldn't be here if you hadn't, because you would have had your dream body. So we need to understand that when we place all the preference on high, so something with a high time preference, okay, leads to impulsive decisions, it leads to addictions, and it leads to failure, okay? Things with a low time preference are balanced, they're solid, they're maintainable, and they allow you to live and feel mentally and physically in a state of homeostasis, okay? Which is you get to your goal on something you can do in order to keep it forever whilst being happy and living a balanced, fun life. Because let's face it, that's the dream for all of us, isn't it? But, you know, we have to be aware, really aware of these things, okay? Because companies know about it, okay? It's why credit card debt is soaring, okay? It's why there's 1,000 McDonald's compared to every skinny kitchen. It's why people smoke and drink every day, because it's constantly rammed into them via advertising, okay? And most people, everybody, in fact, I would say, can't have everything they want right now, even though they want it now. So these companies just provide you with a way to be able to do that, okay? So we need to start thinking about how we're going to change this, okay? So, you know, what longer discomfort are we willing to endure, which is less, you know, calorie deficit of, you know, I'm in a deficit at 2,400. There was never really any need for me to be at 1,200, apart from that I was going to screw my body up and be really miserable. But, you know, what are we going to forego to get leaner, to get stronger, to get healthier, and to get more confident, but in a more balanced way, okay? Because we need to start two things we need to, one, give up the desire for the immediate gratification, but we also need to learn to refuse the immediate gratification in terms of wanting the longer delayed ones, okay? So two very different angles there. One is doing things that's over restrictive, okay, to get the body that you can't keep. That's one time preference thing. And the other thing is not being able to say no to the McDonald's that gives you the instant gratification, or the bottle of wine, or the Greggs sausage roll, in replacement of the other thing that you know is going to make you eternally happier, which is the body confidence, which is the fitness, which is being a great role model to your kids, which is feeling confident at a wedding, which is feeling great on holiday, which is having the body and the mind you've always truly wanted and truly deserve, okay? So yeah, you know, start thinking about that and writing it down. This can be homework, okay? You know, what things do I need to start saying no to consistently over time that are the things that give me immediate pleasure, but they don't take me closer towards my goals, okay? Remember, it's about, do your actions match your ambitions? Two people in the group, Laura McCarthy and Kate Shandan, absolute legendary the way they do it. You'll have seen Laura's fridge in the Facebook group, okay? You'll have seen Kate's list. They know all the actions listed that take them further away from their goals, and they know all the actions listed that take them closer towards their goals. They know the negative behaviours, they know the positive behaviours, and they're not perfectionists. You know, Laura's just been away at a spa weekend this weekend and had a bit of downtime, but they understand that they need to keep tipping the balance, and that's what they're doing, and that's why they're doing so well, okay? Because they're learning to suddenly say no to certain things in order for the longer term, far bigger satisfaction of the long-term reward. You know, what does feel better? Think of this, okay? Think about it as a positive versus a negative realization, or visualization is the word I'm looking for. So, how do I feel when I sit here because they were £3 for £1, didn't say no, and munched my way through 3 Greggs sausage rolls with a can of Coke? Probably pretty good for the single amount of time that the dirty grease is running off my fingers. 5 minutes maybe, sugar rush, maybe up to 10 minutes, followed by the fact probably feeling pretty sick for the rest of the day, won't feel like training, my insulin have gone through the roof, I'll feel tired an hour later, and I'll want more sausage rolls to make me feel less tired, and more cans of full fat Coke, which will all just curdle in my belly, make my gut feel disgusting, make me feel bloated, make me feel disappointed in myself. It's got no nutrients, it's got no vitamins, it's got no minerals, my body's going to struggle to digest it, it's full of crap. And what did I do that for? for literally, one, because I'm lazy, and two, because of 5 minutes of instant gratification, which I just couldn't wait to say no to, when I could have left it, or I could have even been in the same goddamn shop and got a chicken sandwich and a bottle of water. But I couldn't say no to it, okay? That's the reality, that's the instant gratification, and that's what we need to stop. Because then if we put the, it's going to bloat your stomach, it's going to leave you feeling and looking disgusting. So visualize that, remember it, remember when you've done it. I bet everyone in this group's done that. I've done that many times. And then visualize, I'm also lucky enough to have done this, walking down the beach in Bora Bora, either with your abs out, if that's your goal, or at 40 years old, feeling the most confident in your bikini you've ever felt, looking at girls half your age and thinking, all the men are looking at me, not at you. I've got a more banging body than you, and you're 20 years old. I feel amazing, and I can tell my kids are really proud of me. Just two situations there, which I've put some emotions into as well. Again, that could be a guy in his shorts, the abs could be male or female. So attach the emotion to it. What's the emotion to the second one? It's feeling proud, it's feeling like you're a role model, it's feeling sexy, it's feeling confident. It's probably making your husband/wife feel pretty sexy and pretty proud, and your kids as well. And overall, it's just a great feeling, isn't it? Now, visualize that versus the feeling of smashing the dominoes and the wedges and the garlic bread and the wine, and then just sitting there, having spent 35 quid, could have put in your kids' money box, on an absolute, utter load of crap that ruined your health, ruined your goals, probably made you feel good for about 5 minutes before you felt physically disgusted in yourself, not only from a mental perspective, but from the fact that your gut's now trying to digest 1,500 calories worth of crap. Whilst you mentally knowing that you're going to have to train the entirety of next week, more than likely, just to be back to where you were 15 minutes ago, because all of that was on top of your normal diet, okay? Get that into your head. Get that positive and negative visualization, okay? When I put it like that, which one do you want to pick? Which one is going to make you feel good? Which one is going to make you feel terrible, okay? It's a simple choice, but we have to get up here under control and have that alarm bell to be able to do that, okay? Now, just break it down. Strutting down the beach in my bikini. Not me personally. Feeling incredible. I want that. I really, really want that. That sausage roll is just going to take me further away from it and make me feel like crap. Why would I make that decision? Why would I do it? I said this to Nick the other day when we were talking about him quitting smoking, which he has. And, he said, I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that and all these things. I said, I used to smoke, by the way. And I said, how did you quit smoking? And I said, well, I just set a process up in my mind. And my process was, I work really hard for my money. I didn't have any money really at the time. And I'm then going and wasting 6 quid a day on something that takes up loads of time, because most smokers don't even think about this. A cigarette takes around about 10 minutes to smoke. Smoke 20 a day, that's 200 minutes of your day wasted smoking. Then you're saying crap like I've not got time. It makes me stink. I'm single and I'm quite lonely, and it makes me unattractive to women. That money could be saved and invested into buying my first home. My clothes stink. People look at me a bit disgusted because it's become not cool to smoke, and it's killing me. It's killing me every day. And my nan, who was the most important person in the world to me, alongside my granddad, who brought me up, died from lung cancer. How respectful is that to her? How big a lesson do I need to learn to stop? Okay, what's the positives to smoking? Yeah, exactly. So, but you have to be able to go through that, and you have to be able to get it locked in your head. Okay, you might need to do that with alcohol. You might need to do that with gambling. I used to gamble as well. Okay, 10 grand a month. I was reasonably good at it. I used to make about £10,100 a month. God's honest truth, that you can ask now. I was in loads of horse racing affiliates. I was connected to some quite top trainers. I was connected to some jockeys, and I was in some syndicates. So, but the reality was, again, it was back to what I talked about in the morning live, that need for instant gratification. I didn't want to work to get my house or to get my car or to get my dream life. I wanted to win it on a horse, because that would take like 5 seconds. And, you know, we'd go through hundreds of things when we'd almost get there. But the reality is, for every one that makes you 10 grand, there's one that loses you 10 grand. And it's that same situation. It's still that instant gratification. I don't want to make the money. I want someone to give it to me. Relates to food, it relates to smoking, it relates to relationships. You know, like I said, it's relates to people doing destructive things and cheating because they can't delay that instant need again for some form of sexual gratification, so they make stupid decisions and ruin their whole lives. And that's something that we need to work on as individuals. Okay, we have to forego these stupid, when we really think about them, things we do with food, with training, with alcohol, with gambling, just to try and get this instant gratification, which deep down it is never going to be the thing that takes us to where we want to be or leads us there. So yeah, that's the number one thing. You know, that's why I failed at fitness for so long. That's why I was fat. That's why I was drunk. That's why I was unfit. That's why I was unhappy. That's why I wasted my entire life's earnings several times over before having to build them back up, working 100 hours a week to be able to reinvest them again. Every single thing about that was related to not being able to delay that desire to want the job, to want the money, to want the partner, to want the house, to want the career, to want everything, but want it right now. Okay, so really think deeply about that today, what behaviors we need to change. So your homework is, you guys are loving the homework, aren't you? I can't wait until I've done the full membership site, which this may be active by the time you're watching this, if you were not in the first 1 or 2 groups, but there will actually be geek time. You've got it. Downloadable PDFs, which you can complete. So today is very simple. Okay, it's 2 lists. I want to know who's still watching this as well, by the way. I want to know who's listened. I want you to comment below, either on Facebook or on YouTube, so I can see it. In fact, comment on YouTube. And then you are going to create 2 lists. Okay, actions and ambitions. Okay, we're going to list all the actions that we did in the last week. This would be training, what food we eat, alcohol we drink, how much personal development we did, steps per day, time spent with kids, time invested in yourself. You know, every single action we did last week. And then we're going to write all our ambitions down. Okay, what it is we want to achieve, what it is we're striving to go for, what our goals are, what our dreams are. You know, you can share these up if you want, do it on a piece of paper and just draw a line down the middle, take a picture of it and post it in the group. That would be awesome. In fact, I'm going to virtually high 10 anyone who does that. But on top of that, that list is for you. Okay, that's what you need to go back to. And you don't need to, you can do it a different way as well. You can have one list which is actions, positive and negative, and then just another list. In fact, do it that way. That's the way I'm going to do it. 3 lists. Okay, actions positive, actions negative. ambitions, 3 columns, okay? So we write all our ambitions down, then we write all our negative actions and all our positive actions, and what we're lifting to do is just shift the balance of that list, okay? Draw lines across, make sure that action matches the ambition. There are always still going to be tough and difficult actions, negative ones, destructive ones. I still do that now. You don't have to be perfect, but what we need to make sure is that the balance is switching up, okay? And the more we start to do the positive actions, the more they just become the norm. They just become what we do. It just becomes life. This becomes a lifestyle. You get the body you want, you can keep it. It's sustainable, it's maintainable, and you completely lose that entire thing of needing that instant gratification, because you've gone the hard route, you've got there, you've got the body, you've got the mind, you've got the business, you've got the career, you've got the job, and you did it all whilst doing something that you understand and not looking for shortcuts. That's where you'll find true happiness, that's where you'll find true fulfillment, and that's when you'll be walking down the beach feeling incredible. Say no to Greg's. Take care, guys. Have an awesome day.